Hello YouTubers and fellow vac fans. Today we'll have a whole house cleaning of my least expensive bagless system. As of a few months ago, this Hoover Windtunnel 2 high capacity PET was still for sale in common grocery stores, at least in Ohio anyway. And I've seen prices on this machine as low as $69 on sale. I think the list price, when it's not on sale, can go as high as $119, but I've seen this as low as right around $70. This is a 2013 machine that I actually got from a friend who had difficulty understanding what this thing meant. That's right, your bag indicator. So right now you see it's green, but it stays green when the machine is off at all times, unless there's something broken with it, I suppose. And when you run it and the filters get clogged, it can turn red. And this particular person didn't understand that and overheated the machine twice. So that's how I acquired it. I cleaned it out, polished the commutator on the motor, cleaned the bins out and everything, and guess what? Works just fine. It's not in perfect condition, but it's pretty close. So just showing you a couple of the features here. We have a partially stretchy hose, pretty big in there. We've got some extension wands, and this fits on the end here. See if I can do this one-handed. There you go. And you've got a Crevice Tool, and this is actually fairly long when you put it together. Of course, that'll fit into here. Since this is the PET version, you've got some, well, I guess you can't call it bristles. This is just more like a hard plastic strip. I mean, it's hard plastic, and it's supposed to be able to scrub pet hair off of various surfaces. It actually seems to work kind of okay. Obviously pretty inexpensive since the whole machine is inexpensive. You've got this turbo tool, and it works pretty well. I've used it on many occasions, and you can see, I'll call these fins. These little fins in here tend to scrape the pet hair or maybe other dirt and debris off of various surfaces, and it does work. Let's take a look at this bin. Might have to stop the camera to completely disassemble some pieces of it. I can't do it one-handed. It's got a typical washable filter. Let's see if I can get that off there. And the bin is ever so slightly dusty. It's just really a little bit of surface dust. Filter's clean. These are pretty ubiquitous. They're pretty common. Not a big deal. You can wash them. Let them dry for 24 hours. They need to be completely bone dry, otherwise they will mess up the airflow. Oh yeah, and speaking of airflow, this machine gets 52 nozzle CFM on my airflow box. And from the end of this hose, I get 76 inches of water lift. Now, that's with a 12 amp motor. It actually runs at 12 amps. Some do, some don't. And you also have a Hepa filter down here. There you go. Post-motor filter. And it has the little charcoal that's on the back here. Try to keep the smell down. This is a fresh, clean filter. Obviously, look how white it is. Haven't used it much, but it's fun to use. There is no way to shut the brush roll off. So the only choices you have are right here. And I have my medium pile carpet, so I run it on 3. Let's see, let's turn this thing upside down so we can take a look at the bristles. The bristles here are fairly long, and they are moderately stiff. They're not as stiff as they could be, but they're stiff enough. And you're going to have, this is where the belt comes in right here. Again, you can't shut the belt off, and you do have a little bit of edge cleaning, all the way to this side, all the way to this side. So if you're unfamiliar with this machine, this isn't actually that bad. This is single cyclone technology. Let me shut the camera off and separate these two pieces here. Okay, I had to use two hands, but It has a lock and unlock. You see I've twisted this to the unlock. Now I can slide this out. And you've got, this is a really large bin, by the way. I mean, this can hold an awful lot of dirt. And you have this single cyclone here. And you can see there's obviously some dust floating around in there, but it's really surface dust. None of the little holes are clogged. So you get a view down there, little single cyclone. See if I can show you a better view of what's down there. You can see all the way down there now. There you go. Real basic cyclone or cyclonic technology. There's intake right there. And I think you've seen everything on the rug plate. And here's some of the hose. And there's a better view of the sticker. And here is the power switch. So it is not on the handle. Again, this is a super cheapy basic machine. Super plastic Chinese goodness. So I'm going to put this thing back together. We're going to go ahead and vacuum with it. And then take a look at my other videos, specifically like, say, Dyson DC25, Dyson DC65. I'm going to go and put the dirt on a white piece of paper and see if we can't kind of compare. So it's been about, well, since Wednesday, today's Saturday, so it's been the same amount of days. I normally split my week into 2 vacuuming days, Wednesday and Saturday. So bottom line is this should be about the same amount of dirt possible to pick up as any other day that I do a whole house cleaning video. So without further ado, let's get vacuuming. Alright, this machine cannot go under furniture that much, although it can go down this far. It does not have a double push pedal, it has a single push pedal. My dog Rosie's not letting me vacuum. She wants to play at the moment. see, do we have any debris? Oh yeah, look at that. So there's something in there. Yeah, we got a little bit. That actually looks like a lot of carpet fuzz. I'm not seeing a lot of fine dust because there really shouldn't be all that much, but yep, there's something in there. As you can see, Rosie wants to try to help. Something fierce. She knows where I'm going to vacuum next. Sometimes I forget there's a cord holder right there, so I don't have to hold the cord. Cords on a vacuum that I've ever had to deal with. I think it's only 20 feet. So I hope it makes it down this hallway. Okay, am I going to use this to vacuum this doggy bed? No, it would chew it up. That's not going to work. But it's got pet tools. So we'll take a look at these two, see how they do. That hurts my hand. This thing really flies, so nothing is stuck in here. No real issues with it. Seems to be all right. I wonder what this is like. I mean, it's probably better in fabric. Well, a shorter pile fabric than this. But if Rosie will let me, this is her bed, obviously. I don't know if she wants to let me. Seems to work better left and right, going this way. I mean, I have more of a scraping action. Yeah, she loves airflow. Finish the rest of the room. let's see if you can make out carpet lines. There's little strips all the way along here. It's very hard to see. There's a wedge where I came back at an angle, but there's little, I'm going to say, tracks maybe about 2 inches wide. It's not bad. If you don't like all those tracks, and I'm not a big one on seeing lots of tracks. Maybe you like it, maybe you don't, but I'm not a big one on seeing all those tracks. All right, on the carpet, let's see where'd it go. There you go, right there. It's a little black piece that's been all in my videos, I don't know, probably the last month or so. And this little piece of fuzz was sitting about right here. And the way I was vacuuming, I couldn't get it. So I'm surprised nobody said anything. Said, there's a little black piece of fuzz right there. I'm going to get it today because that was driving me nuts in those videos. Let's see if I can manage to pick it up. It's right here, so look closely. Okay, time for the next room. Here's a better picture of carpet lines. So you can see them now. Got a little better light in this room. So that's what it leaves. All right, I wonder how these tools will do on this particular couch. We don't let the dog on the furniture, so if this is really the best on pet hair, and also this, it's probably not going to have the same effect as other tools. But I'll try them out anyway. how well it picked up, but it moves okay. Let me try this one. And that probably doesn't do a whole lot. Moving it this way. But you know what? This kind of disturbs the fabric in a way I'm not real thrilled about. Yeah, I don't think I'd recommend this on this type of fabric. At least not going in this direction. This seems to be okay, but I have a funny feeling this is probably supposed to move this way rather than this way. That's about as far as it can go. So, not bad. Okay, one room left to go. All right. Sometimes I have a lot of color temperature problems. Hopefully this sticks. Now see, Rosie knows I'm going to clean her bed next, so of course she lays down there. Okay, since my dog still insists on laying on her bed at the moment, we'll do the couch instead. So, let's see. That's pretty rough, but you know what? I bet you if I had dog hair on this fabric, that probably would be pretty good. On this fabric, it doesn't seem to hang up. So, let's try it. I'm going to try both of them. Seems to be all right. Doesn't seem to be hurting it as far as I can tell. And switch over to this guy. So plenty of speed, and it really doesn't seem to bog down that much. So either one seems to work okay for this couch. Of course, since they're pet oriented and I don't have pet hair on here, I can't really say that it does all that great on pet hair. Okay, so I bribed the dog with a doggy treat to get off her bed. So this is a shorter pile bed than upstairs. So let's see what the turbo tool does. Let's see what the non-turbo tool does. Either one seems to be okay. You know, the ultimate result is going to be taking a look at what ends up being in the bin. So, at this point in time, we got plenty of stuff. The question is how much is it dog hair? How much of it is loose carpet fibers? We'll have to take a peek. Okay, I usually do a test of this very thin rubber-back mat, and the applesauce is acting like a weight. So it weighs 3 pounds. Because if I use this on the carpet, it just begins to pull it up a bit. It's not that much, but it's enough that if I want to, well, get it clean and I'm just one person, I'm going to have to put some weight on it. And I was not running this on low, I was actually running it on 3. So, does this thing work on bare floors? I think that it would, but you have one caveat. I'm not going to run this thing probably much lower than a 3, because the bristles on here, like I showed you earlier in the video, are going to be a little too sharp, a little too stiff, and while they might not necessarily hurt the floor, they probably will kick particles around, and there's no way, there's nothing in here on either side to turn the brush roll off. There's no little step pedal or anything like that. So bottom line is, let me try it on the bare floor, and then I'm going to adjust this knob until you hear the bristles making kind of a sound, and you know that that's going to be too low, or at least in my opinion, that'll be too low. So, I hope you heard that. 2 seemed to be too low, and it was hitting the linoleum, and I can't really recommend that. So anyway, here ends the whole house cleaning video of the least expensive bagless machine I have, but what I will do is I will take the dirt out of the bin, and we'll take it outside since it's a nice day. It's October 21st today. I try to get my videos uploaded as quickly as possible. And let's go examine the dirt. Well, there's some fine dust in there. Look at that right there. Anybody who thinks a single cyclone doesn't work, there's some of your evidence right there. And I'll pull the rest out. Alright, that's pretty much about all I can do. I'm going to remove this piece right here. I'll take this, all those pieces come off there. Now you can see the fine dust that's starting to build up in there. The only way that's going to come out is to pretty much wash it, or blow it out, or both. And here is what the filter looks like. So I see some dust spots in there. There's one there, one there, one there, one there. It's a little bit. It really isn't much, and it certainly hasn't accumulated anything, but there's something there. So let's take another look at this. So this is a lot of dog hair. I mean, look at that. That's quite a bit. And dirt-wise, total dirt-wise, that's pretty close to probably like a DC25. And this thing is obviously a lot less expensive. So take a look at that. Now I'm going to go ahead, and I have a little leaf blower here. I'm going to blow out these cyclones because there's plenty of fine dust stuck in there. Hope the dust doesn't hit the camera too much. Alright, so thanks for watching this inexpensive Hoover wind tunnel.